Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessTheTrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Thank you very much for tuning in, spending a couple of minutes with us. If you could be so kind, take a moment out, support the channel, click that like button if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, and go. Hopefully, again, I can hopefully point in the right direction. So let's talk about it. So we had our really big gap and go market on Monday with the news that pretty much the war is almost a wrap. Not quite, but almost a wrap. The bulls really like that 3% gain. Last night's video, we talked about it was very odd that we lost the previous day's lows on a day of profit taking. Usually, when you have a really big, ridiculous gap up, okay, a cartoonish like gap up, the next day, if there is no price improvement, there's usually an inside day. Not only did we not have an inside day, but we lost the previous day's lows. And today we did it again. Again, it's not a technical red light. There is nothing about it that screams sell stocks, but at least it's, again, a conversational piece that we should happen. Right now, the Qs are right above the 20-day moving average. The whole premise of the PS60 theory, and again, if you are interested in pivots, guys, I know a lot of you guys have been following me for a very long time, and your career is kind of just stuck and not going anywhere, and you are interested, spend 30 days with us, see what these pivots are all about, and hopefully it's something that could fit your personality and account size. So we are just above the 20-day moving average, okay? And the whole premise of the PS60 theory, as we all know, is stocks trade from supply to supply and demand to demand. So we are on demand here on the 20-day. If the market continues to be strong, be bullish, we hold this level going into tomorrow's session, trap eager shorts, start moving the way back up and start reclaiming back the 5-day moving average. The area of price discovery, which is going to be very important for tomorrow's session, is going to be this roughly 720 level, right? 720 is the cross. You have two major supports there, the 20-day and the 10-day. We already lost the 5 on the close. The reason why it's important, the 10-day moving average, if you watched any of my webinars, have been in the live webinar, whatever the case may be, you know it's the birth of the trade. And that's obviously holds the opposite. So if the market loses the 10-day moving average and stocks trade from supply to supply and demand to demand, well, the next demand is 707. So for the bulls to hold serve, especially hold that really massive 3% move we had on Friday, they need to defend that 720 level. On the bear case, right, because there's always both sides. If you're a trader, you want to be prepared on both sides. If you're an investor, again, this channel has absolutely no value to you. I have zero, even less value to you, and we could always be friends, right? Allegedly. Right? So there is a two-sided version of this story as well. If we start losing the 20-day and the 10-day, we go down to the 707 level. Again, no technical damage until we lose the lows from June the 9th. But again, we don't want to put the cart in front of the horse just yet. What continues to get really hit are the software stocks. And that's where the technical damage is. So if you're trying to figure out where the weakness are. Well, the weakness was pretty obvious in the morning. All your favorites, right? All your mega cap technology names that are your favorites, they all got hit, right? One after another. Meta got absolutely slammed. Amazon looks like crap. Google, after having all that call buying yesterday, again, looks like crap. You got Microsoft, and you go through the whole software list, looks worse than crap, right? Look at NOW. First close today below the 50-day moving average. That's a massive no good, right? Bad. Adobe continues to get sold. You could just go through the whole list of software stocks, and that's where you're going to get your pressure in your NASDAQ. NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is definitely the redheaded stepchild of all these semiconductor names. A lot of these semiconductor names did not violate yesterday's lows, but the ones that did are showing the weakness. NVIDIA now 3 days in a row of lower highs and lower lows, while some of its peers continue to shine. You have names like Marvel, just to give you an idea how close the other names are to coming to violate. So if we start losing that 720 level on the QQQs, watch Marvel tomorrow. If it loses yesterday's low, there's downside. AMD, that had a massive, massive move today, gave everything back, and now it's just sitting on the 5-day moving average. The same case as Marvel, the same case as AMD. If they start losing yesterday's channel, they're going to get hit. So these are very, very notable names that need to be watched, because again, the last thing you want to see is a big closure, right? A big closure of news in the Iran conflict, and the market gives everything back. Okay, the biggest darling in the last 24 hours or 36 hours has been SpaceX. Okay, SpaceX has been an absolute phenomenal stock. It's been a phenomenal debut. We all know it's overvalued. Even people who are long the stock know it's overvalued. It'll probably take 5 to 10 years for fundamentals to kind of catch up, but it doesn't make a difference. What does make a difference is today was the first day that it took out a previous day's low since it debuted. Is this now the final, nail in the coffin, and now the stock is going to lose $100 worth of value? No, maybe it does. Who the hell knows, right? But it's not what you want to see, because again, momentum is only as good as the previous day's low. If the previous day low gets violated, right, gets violated on numerous stocks, the leaders, the momentum names, the darlings, well, that's called buyer exhaustion. The last thing the bulls want to see is buyer exhaustion. So if the money comes out of the one euphoric move for the last 36 hours and the semiconductors are already selling and the software names are really selling, again, that's my whole point. Watch the QQQs on that 720 level. If we hold and we start rallying back, everything is all good in the world. If we start violating those levels and all these names that we just talked about start violating today's lows as well, well, you're going to see downside pressure. Again, it's not my words. It's not my opinion. That's the data. That's literally the data that we're watching for every single day. Again, I'm not a bear. I'd rather buy stocks. It feels better to buy stocks, but I'm pretty damn good on the downside. And if we start losing channels, it's going to be something that you're going to want to pay attention for. Look at Tesla, right? Look at Tesla. So we talked about the Tesla setup yesterday, right? We talked about Tesla. Something has to give. Something has to give, right? It was trapped below the 200-day supply, and it was hanging above the 50-day moving average. Okay. Today it violated the 50-day moving average. This is the first close below the 50-day moving average. So now the question is, what happens next? There was a lot of put buying coming in for tomorrow's expiration. Keep this in mind. Friday, the markets are closed in observance of Juneteenth. So all the weekly expiration is for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, I believe. Yes, for tomorrow's. So they started coming for the 390 puts pretty aggressively, pretty much the whole day, and they finally washed it out. At the close. This is now the lowest close in this whole formation for the last week. The key is if Tesla can't reclaim back, right? If it can't reclaim back the 50-day moving average, there's going to be some more downside pressure. And keep this in mind. It did not rally for the majority of the year with the rest of the equity markets. It did not rally with SpaceX. You figure the biggest shareholder of SpaceX would be benefiting from nearly a double in 36 hours. It did not participate at all, and now this is the first close in the 50-day moving average. So it's something that you definitely want to pay attention to tomorrow as well. If it starts losing today's channels, you could see some more downside as well. Look at Zoom, right? Zoom, this is very, very close to losing its 200-day moving average. You see what happens? First close below the 50-day, it goes to the 200-day. If Zoom loses the 200-day moving average, you have more selling. Look at, for example, Carvana. Again, not the easiest stock to trade, but guys, look at this range. You're developing a range going all the way back to May, right? All the way back to May. And if it starts losing this May channel here, this thing can get hit, right? This thing can get hit more. You had a lot of volume coming in, expansion volume today on the way down. It's never a good thing when a stock is coming to a big macro range. So it's something that you want to definitely keep an eye on for tomorrow. Today was the first FOMC FOMC meeting by the new Fed's chair. I think his name is Kevin Warsh, right? Kevin Warsh. He left rates unchanged. That was to be expected. The only thing that wasn't really expected was that he did not signal for any immediate rate cuts. I think that's what the market was looking for. I think that's obviously what Trump was looking for. And the market kind of sold and got very heavy in the afternoon. So again, maybe it's time for another Fed chairman. Again, we'll see. Somebody's going to go in the principal's office for tomorrow's session. So we're kind of set up for tomorrow, right? The market is in a very sticky situation right now. It's kind of do or die, saving the Monday gap up. We know our levels, right? 720. Remember, guys, that 720 level on the QQQs needs to be defended. If it's not defended, we're going to go all the way back down to the 707, which is the 34 EMA. So the semiconductors need to stay above yesterday's lows. If they can't, the market will pull in. The software names continue to be weak. You have your favorite darlings, the Metas, the Amazons, the Googles, the Microsofts of the world. They're weak. Something has to give here. Again, guys, keep this in mind. We've still had a staggering run through the last couple of months since the March 30 lows. And the most important part is to be sensible in your approach on a day-to-day basis. Guys, have an amazing night. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody is finding your niche. Hope everybody is putting themselves in a situation for longevity. And with God's help, I'll see you all on the floor tomorrow. Take care, guys.